Hey beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining the channel. If this is your first time here, please do not forget to like our video and share the video with at least one person so that they can also benefit from this material I share here. Now, I will focus more on universities in Portugal. I would equally talk about some little things you need to know about Portugal. Then I will talk about the documents you need and how to arrange the documents for application. Then I will talk about the proof of funds to study in Portugal. For those of you who have been asking me about proof of funds, this is the video you need. So please don't go anywhere. Make sure you watch till the end so that you can actually understand the process. Now, before we start, my name is Milton. Thank you much for joining. Please, let's go straight to the video. Now, before you even think of studying in Portugal, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Portugal is not that expensive. Portugal is a country in Europe. We all know. I will not be explaining these things. If you want to study in Portugal, understand that Portuguese universities will charge you an application fee. And again, it depends on the program you are going to study. You would find programs in the Portuguese language for bachelor's level. You would equally find programs for English language at master's level. And some programs equally at master's level would also be taught in the Portuguese language. So you have to note all of this. Also understand that tuition fee in Portuguese universities is paid instrumentally. Not all universities, but some universities in Portugal will charge you instrumentally. And if you look at the instrumental payment, at the end of the day, you may think that you are studying for free. Because, for example, if a university asks you to pay 1,800 euros in 5 installments, it means that you are literally paying nothing to study. But however, this is a good strategy for those who do not have all financial capabilities. I would like to draw your attention again to this point. You can be sponsored to study in Portugal by anybody. Anybody can sponsor you, but mind you, all documentations must be brought to table before you apply for your visa. I am going to explain more about this, so do not worry. Now, remember that if you want to study in Portugal, there are various things you need to do. One of them is legalization of your documents. Milton, should I apply before I legalize my documents? My answer is to cut the cost and to stop stress from your own side. Legalize your documents before you start your application. The reason is simple. Most universities, before they give you admissions, they will ask you to go and legalize your documents. Now, what if you go for legalization, which is very daunting or a daunting task, and it is slow? What are you going to do? You might lose the admissions to somebody who already have done the legalization of his or her documents. So I will advise you do it before you go and make sure you start on time. As I speak, I do not know if there are appointments at the level of the embassy. First, how is legalization done? You have to start at the local level to do the documents. Remember I said if you want to really move to Portugal, you have to watch this video till the end. Now, you first of all start with your university. There are videos I have done about legalization to study in Portugal. Please, you have to check it up here or in the video description box. Watch those videos and know the process. I'm still going to recap on this. You start from your university. From your university, you go to the Ministry of Education or Foreign Affairs. From Foreign Affairs, you now take them to the Portuguese Embassy. Remember that at the level of the Portuguese Embassy, these documents for Nigerians only. These documents have to leave the embassy and they go to NUC. Then from NUC, they will go to your school because this is verification. They must verify and make sure they are okay. When they go to your school, they will leave your school back to NUC and back to the embassy, and you might have to book an appointment before you collect. But it looks like you can go to the embassy and collect your documents after you have been informed. So please do not waste a lot of time. You have to be active and smart in this case if you want to find yourself in Portugal in September. I hope you understand. So this process is not the same as Cameroonian. Cameroonians, you just need to carry your documents from the ministry, from your school to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, depending on the town you are, then to the Portuguese embassy. You now have to figure a way how you can go to Nigeria and do this because Cameroon does not have the Portuguese embassy. I hope you understand. Now, this is for the process of legalization. But which documents are you going to legalize? First of all, there are documents you have to apply for admissions in Portuguese universities, and these documents are compulsory documents. You need these documents to apply. First of all, if you are going for bachelor's degree, you need a copy of your WAEC, copy of your WASI, O levels, A levels, baccalaureate, depending on the country in which you are coming from. Okay, then this is for bachelors. Then in most cases, the school will ask for a curriculum vitae, which is your CV, and sometimes a written letter called motivation letter or SOP. They are the same. Now, in this SOP, you have to pay attention to it, because most of the time the SOP is the document that will end up giving you the admissions. Why did you choose Portugal? Why did you choose that particular university? Why are you applying to that particular program? What is the program going to do to you and your home country? And why are you a perfect candidate to be chosen for that program? You have to elaborate and explain all this in detail. There are other documents depending on the university, but again, these are the easiest documents. Now, for masters, you need your high school certificate plus a copy of your bachelor's degree transcript and the certificate, all legalized. They must go through the due process for you to successfully apply for a visa to Portugal. Now, that is for documentation. Let's take a look at some of the universities in Portugal that you can choose. There are about 12 or maybe 13 or more universities in Portugal, but I would like to draw your attention to these few, and they include: 1, the University of Évora. You also have the University of Aveiro. You also have the University of Lisbon. There is also the University of Porto. There is also the University of Coimbra. There is also the University of Beira Interior. There is also the University of Minho. There is also the University of Algarve. There is also ISCTE University, which also stands for University Institute of Lisbon. This is the only school in Portugal that I know that can accept you to apply without legalizing your documents. But before they give you admissions, you would probably show them your legalized documents. So please put all of this into consideration. It's so important. Then there is also Nova University of Lisbon. These are some few universities you could consider depending on the program you want to apply to and depending on requirements. Please go to their websites, check them one after the other. Some will have BSc in Portuguese, some will have MSc in Portuguese, some will have MSc in English, some will have maybe in both languages. So now it depends on you and what you are looking for. So this is for the schools in Portugal if you want to apply to any school in Portugal. Now let's take a look at how you can show proof of funds to study in Portugal. Now remember, among these universities I mentioned, Aveiro and Évora, they will need you to show legalized documents. Like I explained to you, it's just good for you to legalize your documents, okay? Then if you intend to apply for visa after getting admissions, now it's time for visa. For you to apply for visa, there are 3 ways you can show proof of funds. One is the bank method way. If you are the one to sponsor yourself to study in Portugal, you can use your own personal bank account with your bank statement, okay? But the money in your account, don't just carry money and go and bump it in that account and you expect to get a visa. They will not give you the visa. I equally got a question from someone saying that, Milton, what if the account is mine? I've been using it for many years, but for the past 6 months, I have not done deposit. That is a red flag because you need a statement for the past 6 months. So make sure you are building the account slowly. You have to be depositing money, withdrawing money. At least let it be flexible. Let money be going in and out. It can be 2 times, 3 times a month, but huge amount of money is not good at the go. Also remember that there is no fixed amount at the Portuguese embassy's website stating how much you need as a fixed amount to travel to Portugal. But what I usually tell people is make sure that the money in your account can pay for your tuition fee completely for 1 year, then pay for your accommodation completely, your flights completely. In other words, if you ask my opinion, I will tell you that 6,500 euros, 7,000 euros or 8,000 euros or more should be in your account before you apply for your visa. If you are the one sponsoring yourself, or if it is your sponsor, let this be in the sponsor's account. I hope this is clear. That is the first option if you want to study in Portugal. Let's take a look at the second option. If you are using a sponsor, and in this case the sponsor can be anybody. It is not like Canada that has a restriction that you must use your siblings or your parents to sponsor you or yourself. For Portugal, you can use anybody, but make sure all documentations are clear to the understanding of the visa officer. Why do I say so? The sponsor you are using must give you a sponsorship letter. There is a place you have to go and get this letter from. Then identifications for the sponsor, ID cards, maybe passports must be there. Also on the sponsorship letter, let your sponsor indicate the details of the funds, his bank account and the purpose. Also mention you in that statement and the purpose of your visit to Portugal. It's so important. Also let your sponsor have the date on the sponsorship letter clearly explained and also sign the sponsorship letter. Remember, it has to be signed or stamped by the public officials. You already know who is going to give you this. That's the second option. The third option is if you are getting an affidavit of support. Of course, your sponsor is still going to get an affidavit of support from the court and give it to you. There is a way they do affidavit of support. They know what they are going to do. But again, these are the three ways: yourself, your sponsor, or an affidavit of support. Like I said, not like the other countries that only your parents or your siblings can sponsor you. For Portugal, anybody can be your sponsor. So this is basically what you need. And I think if you follow the procedure well, you might be in Portugal September. Another last tip I will give to you is do not focus only on Portugal. As it is now, people will suffer from appointment issues. So it is good for you to target many countries so that whichever one comes first, you pick it immediately and you launch your visa application. I hope this video helps you. If you didn't understand anything or if there is still a question you need, please drop it below in the video description box. If you need a one-on-one session with me, a call with me to get advice or anything advice for study abroad opportunities, check the video description box. There are links there for you to book an appointment. Till we meet again in another episode. Bye bye.